Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Isaac News today, where we have a great show for you tonight. Many questions will be answered, many fun facts will be revealed, and we will learn about the past from our elders. So, with that, let's get right into it, shall we? With that, our source for the day comes from Mobile Cuisine, where they are telling us about pudding. Pudding emerged in the 19th century by a British chemist named Alfred Bird. It comes from the French word boudin and the Latin word botellus, meaning small sausage. It's very incredible. And, Alfred Bird actually invented a powder that enabled instant pudding and the perfect consistency. So for more information, be sure to check out mobilecuisine.com. Not sponsored. But with that, we're going to get right into it, y'all. Welcome to the dojo, and let's get to your questions. So with that, our first question of the night comes from Scobie Resident 1901. Welcome to the show. And they are just sharing, Sensei, sometimes people do bad, evil things to me. I get mad. But what always helps me is I think if our Father can be nailed to a cross and forgive the men who did it to them, why can't I for something silly? My 2 cents. My 2 cents as well. Keep living. I like it. And that's a good reminder, everyone. Perfect. Okay, so next up, we have from Woody or Rather. Glad to have you back on the show. Hello, Honorable Mr. Funkle Yoda Life Sensei. I am hosting a Valentine's event at my church with a panel of couples to do a trivia game and a not-so-newlywed game. For getting marriage advice from them, would you rather have a congregation put in anonymous questions for them to answer, to know ahead of time, or have them share their own marriage advice, or I would bring up different topics for them to answer? Selflessness, communication, trust, humility, patience, etc. Great question. Well, you have to think about your audience right there. I feel if you're doing a not so newlywed game, you probably don't want them to know the questions ahead of time, so that way the answers are more organic. Aside from that, I feel like what questions would you want to know? And I feel like the congregation knowing could help. And I need to hear from our audience here. What do you guys think would be the most interesting? Be sure to comment, and that way we can discuss it together. But my 2 cents and my advice for you would be, I think you should create the show yourself. Come up with your topics. That way you're in control of the flow of the show, and you don't have to worry about anything else. That's what I would suggest. With that, thank you very much for your question. Ooh, yes. Kimberly Grosso says a mix of both, and I would agree with you, Kimberly. Thank you so much for that. So now we go to Forgetful. Hi, Forgetful. What is the best way to make up for forgetting someone's birthday? Well, it's a magical song, and it's called Happy Birthday, except you add a word before it called Happy Belated Birthday. And that's what you do. Now, I forget at least several people's birthdays every day, I'm sure. And so to anyone whose birthday I have missed, I'm sorry. And we'll try to do it better next year. So that's what I would say. I don't think anyone should get too offended unless it's like your spouse, because, it shows your friendship, but other than that, that's what I would say. So with that, and Alf Loreen say, I like all three of the ideas combined in some way. I agree with that. Thank you. So student who wants an A, or students who wants an A. How can I get straight A's in high school and or college? Great question. Now, what I always recommend, because in this day and age, there is definitely a lack of passion when it comes to education. And what I do, personally, is I make sure I let my teachers know, not in like a braggy way, not in a whiny way, but I just tell them I want an A, and I'm willing to work for it. So when I'm messing up, I want to know why, and I want to fix that. And every professor and teacher who I've spoken to like that has appreciated it. And that's what I would do. And, I mean, take it however you want. I did get a 4.0 in college for the last 3 semesters. So Most of the time I know what I'm talking about, and that is my advice to you. How to get A's? Just tell the professors you're willing to try. The downside to that is if you tell them before your first assignment and you submit your first assignment and it's terrible, it's going to be critiqued a lot harder because you have to show them you're putting in the effort. So then the nitpicks won't be as big because you are saying you want to get the big picture. That's what I would say. Thank you. Okay, so from Helen. Hi, Helen. Welcome to the show. My 5-year-old son won't eat his vegetables. Did you and do you now eat vegetables? Do you have any favorites you could encourage him to eat? We love your show and look forward to your advice each week. Well, that warms my heart. Thank you so much. And I'm hoping we'll keep growing and eventually a lot farther. But okay, to answer your question, I really did not eat my vegetables. There was a rule at our house. Whatever was put on your plate, you had to try, as long as you weren't allergic to it. So for me, I tried every vegetable that we could get our hands on. And the only one I would consistently eat would be, if y'all are picking up any wind sounds, that's because where we are right now, the wind is like just soaring. Doesn't matter where we are, it's just blowing all the time. So, sorry, do you have any favorites? Baby carrots are always my favorite, my go-to. You could make him feel like a giant by eating broccoli, because broccoli looks like small trees. But the secret, I would say, was ranch. Ranch and spinach were my go-to. And so that's what I would say. And you guys, please tell me what your favorite vegetables are, because I still hate vegetables. I'm trying this new thing. It's called salad, I think. And it's taken me a while, but I think I'm warming up to it. So from Jill, I want to redecorate my apartment. Do you have any advice? You've come to the right person, Jill. Number one, get a massage chair, okay? In general, you gotta build for comfort instead of style, to me. It depends on your personality, but for me, I always prefer going to a house where I know I can sit anywhere compared to a house where I'm afraid to sit on anything because it might be a 16th century antique from Louis the 14th or whatever, and I tend to ruin everything. Okay, but back to the vegetables really quick. Christian says he likes onions and peppers. Ah, really? Okay. And Kimberly says she likes grilled zucchini is the bomb. I'll have to try that. Caleb says French fries. I like that a lot. Good. Okay, thank you guys very much for your question. All right, so from Socks, welcome back. What are some of your favorite songs at the moment? I'm wanting some new songs to listen to. Well, you got the right guy here, because apparently the songs I listened to, no one has heard of, and the songs apparently everyone has heard of, I haven't. Case in point, when I started working at Chick-fil-A, I heard some people talking about M&M, and I thought they meant the candy, and I thought it was a fun candy wrap, and they're like, you don't know who that is? And I said, no, because I don't listen to the new stuff. I listen to stuff I like. So, favorite songs at the moment, Back Home by Owl City is phenomenal. I love it. As a farm boy who's currently living in a city, it just so makes me miss home. What else? Good Time by Owl City. Most of them from Owl City are always good. Billy Joel's We Didn't Start the Fire is great, especially for this day and age. It's a good reminder of things when people are blaming each other for stuff. We didn't start the fire. It's been always burning since the world's been turning. But yeah, thank you. Those are good ones. Guys, what are your favorite songs? We got like Billy Joel. We got Billie Eilish, who I don't really know much about at all. And probably like 100 more, at least. So please, I am what the next name of this person is. Curious. What are your favorite songs? All right, so what books are you reading right now, and what is a book you would recommend? Well, I'm reading this book called Communication for Results. It's required for my college classes, so that's what I'm reading right now. What else? Oh, Billy Joel, Eagles are... Ooh, yeah, those are good. I like that, Mari. Billy Joel and Eagles are good. Okay, so books I'm reading. I finished before last semester. I think it was this book called The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. Also, I'm not sponsored, but here's a great book I read. It's called Excellence Wins by Horst Schulze. He was the founder of the Ritz-Carlton Hotel. And if any of y'all don't know what that is, they are the ones who inspired Chick-fil-A to say my pleasure. So they are like way up there, So those are good. A book that I would recommend, the Bible. That's always a good one. But any of the previously mentioned ones are dynamite. I don't read a book I don't like. I will stop midway through. All right. Thank you very much. So, from Kronk, do blind people see in their dreams? I actually, when I was younger, I saw a study done that it was interviewing blind people in the way that they communicated. I can't remember the name of it, but apparently they do see in their dreams. Like they can picture trees, they can see buildings, they can see nature without ever seeing it because of their dreams. And I have no idea how that's possible, but it is remarkable. So, thank you for sharing. And if y'all have seen any more recent studies, please let me know, because I might have to look it up now. So from Animal, welcome back. I love TV and movies. Do you have any favorite TV shows or movies? Love the show. Keep bringing the good news to the world. Thank you. Now, my favorite TV and movies, gosh, I mean, TVs right now, I've been enjoying Brooklyn Nine-Nine, aside from some of the agenda pushing. Yes, Dear is a great one. If it's not a comedy, I typically don't watch it. Frasier is like probably the best show I would watch. Not the most family friendly, but it's the only TV show I've seen that's really like a play, and they just will get the comedic timing so perfectly. I really don't know how else to explain it. It's great. Movies? Quest for Camelot, that's like 30 years old, is great. I love that. Okay, Mandalorian. Mandalorian's good. I've been hearing a lot of talk about WandaVision, but I've still yet to see the first episode. What do y'all think? Because it looks to me like it's the Mary Tyler Moore show, but with Marvel. And yet the new commercials I'm seeing now are like completely different. So I have no idea what it's like, and it makes me want to wait and see till the season's over so I could just binge it. But y'all let me know. Thank you. Okay, so from level 39, as an avid gamer, I realized that I am the best in my family. Hashtag humble. What is your favorite game? Thanks for sharing. Well, my favorite game, that's really tough. That's like asking me to pick who my favorite child is. I mean, as of right now, anything Mario, Kirby, Zelda, anything Nintendo tends to be my favorite. Oh, Kimberly and Andrew say they love WandaVision. Well, great, then I'll probably check it out. But as far as favorite game goes, really anything. I'll play anything if it has a good story or good mechanics. So I love Kirby and how he just eats enemies and gets their powers. I love Mario because it feels good to jump on some people's heads and it be legal. It's awesome. So, okay. From Boeing 747, if you could have 2 superpowers, what would they be? This is good. And you guys start putting it in the chat. What 2 superpowers would you have? Because for me, I would want to be able to shapeshift, but also have like Mr. Fantastic's powers. So I could like turn my arm into a sword and grow wings. But then also if someone was trying to shoot me, I could turn like my chest into water so I wouldn't actually get hurt. Like, there's so many possibilities if you can morph. That's what it'll be. I would like to morph and shoot fire from my hands. Andrew says you've had a month to watch WandaVision. Why haven't you yet? Because, Andrew, when you tell me to do something, I will almost always not do it just for the sake of it. But just so y'all are aware, Andrew's my older brother, and so I love having him in the chat. Y'all saw him last week with his adorable new kid, David, and I'm the Funkle. So I'm very happy about that. So, let's see. Alfleur and Hames say they would like to have flying powers, and Mari says she'd like teleportation and invisibility. You know what? I really like that. You could be like a sleuth or whatever. Great reporter. I like that. And Matt says he'd like flying and invisibility. Ooh, that would be nice too. I would go for flying, but I get motion sick, so I'm like, maybe the air pressure would be too much for me. But I like that. Okay, so from I'm a President, congratulations. If you could change anything in our country right now, what would it be? How would you and why? Oh, before we get to that, Kimberly says Dante would like shapeshifting and regeneration. Oh, brilliant. Why didn't I think of that? Like regeneration, like if you get hurt, you can regenerate, or you would never die because your cells would keep regenerating. Either way, I like that. So, if I could change anything in our country right now, I'd want to open up the dialogue because it's clear, like I've said before, what I see in the news is if you listen to this person, you're an idiot. But if you listen to this person, you're an idiot. And both people are wrong and both are saying the other side's crazy, which by definition means everyone's crazy. And I know that's not the truth. So I would just want to open up a dialogue. And yeah, that would really be it. That's the purpose of this channel. Create dialogue, create a space where everyone can meet on equal terms. So, thank you for asking. And one day, hopefully, we can make it reality. Ooh, Anina says, I would want to have superpowers to go to my grandkiddos. I always say I wish we could travel through FaceTime. That would be awesome. Like, if you could create a portal, like, through the camera right here, I would love that. That would be so cool. And Matt says we need civility. I so agree. All right, so daily riddles. Ooh, daily riddles. Okay, guys, we got to go to the scoreboard here. All right, daily riddles. No one got it right last time, so it's still 0-1. So the question is, I come from a mine and get surrounded by wood always. Everyone uses me. What am I? Well, I'm not a genius. Isaac for president? Yes, thank you. I intend to run one day if all goes according to plan. So, thank you, Victoria. So, I come from a mine and get surrounded by wood always. Everyone uses me. What am I? Audience, it's you versus me. Come on, put it in the comments. What do you think? So, the only thing I can think of at the moment would be a pencil. Or lead, specifically. Because lead comes from a mine, and it almost always gets put into a pencil. But lead doesn't always get put into a pencil, so that might not be it. It might just be a pencil. But pencils don't come from a mine. Yeah, Horner dudes say pencil lead. That's what I'm going with. So, a canary? Caleb, what a canary? Huh. I could see that. A canary gets in a mine and everyone uses it. But, all right, you guys, keep putting it down there. I'm going to move to the next question. All right. So, Shad the Bad asks, Hi, Life Sensei. Love your show. But I and some of my coworkers have a problem. See, we work internationally, which presents some cultural challenges to our Christian faith. Last week, our boss informed the company that we will have to engage in an act of worship at a citywide event in this country. He said we will be terminated if we don't comply. What should we do? Can we just go through the motions and not worship in our hearts? What say you? Thanks sincerely. So, from Shad the Bad, the more I'm looking at this, the more that I think this might be a pun from Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, but I'm going to treat this like it's real. What I would do is, number one, they can't force you. Especially not in America. They could not force you to break your religious law or your religious rule. Oh, shoot. So, that's what I would do. Well, first off, don't do it. Paul says, you can because we know all gods are fake except for the one true God. So if you could do it with a clean conscience, you could. But other than that, get ready to become a millionaire because you are going to be filthy rich when you sue them. That's what I'd say. Don't go through the motions because they can't force you. All right, and next up from Praying Dantis, clever. Hi, Life Sensei. I prayed in public when it was against the law. Now I am in a pickle, or more like the pits, as they say. Do you think I should have closed the windows of my house before I did that? It is kind of a hairy situation down there. Very clever, Praying Dantis. Well, can I call you Daniel? I think I will. So, Daniel, I'm going to guess this was quite a long time ago, probably a few thousand years. But I don't think you should have closed the window. I think you did the right thing. I mean, if God tells you to pray, you got to pray. If he says don't close the window, don't close the window. Thank you for asking. Also very clever. All right, so from Frozen Banana Milk, if it's really, 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 really cold outside, but you still want fresh air, how do you get fresh air? Well, very simple. All you have to do is put on a bunch of sweatshirts and a bunch of warm socks and open the door, and boom, you'll get fresh air and you won't be cold. But you probably shouldn't want too much fresh air. Thank you for your question. Okay, so from Zippy, I heard you took a big trip recently. Do you have any travel advice? Gum. Gum makes everything always better. Like when you're getting in a plane, always have gum nearby, and as soon as the plane starts taking off, pop a piece of gum in your mouth and just begin chewing frantically, because for some reason it enables the air pressure or something. It doesn't let your ears get stuffed. I don't know why. And I've tried chewing without gum, and it doesn't work. Maybe it's a placebo. I don't know. It works for me. Any other travel advice? Make sure you have enough time to get over any motion sickness you may incur from being on the plane. Thank you for asking. What do y'all have for tips? Like for me, I went with my dad on the trip, and we went to the airport. We were supposed to take off at 1 o'clock, and the night before my dad said, well, why don't we get there at 10? I think that'll be a good time. That'll leave us plenty of time. And I said, well, that seems a little early. It's not that big an airport. And he said, no, okay, well, then we can leave at 11, 2 hours before our flight takes off. Okay. So we get there. If y'all are wondering, it was the El Paso Airport International. And there's not much to do once you get past security, but my dad didn't believe me. And so we basically waited for 2 hours because getting through security took like 5 minutes. And I have a live studio audience, so you could probably hear him laughing about it. It was very fun. If y'all want to hear more details about that trip, I am more than happy to tell you about it. But for now, from Royberg, what are your favorite fast food restaurants? Great question. Like, well, Chick-fil-A, number one. You guys probably know that. I just love the brand, love the chicken, love the filet. I would say, like, other than that, there'll probably be a big drop-off to some of you, but I always love McDonald's because growing up, McDonald's was a treat. I grew up, and where I grew up, the nearest McDonald's was 75 miles away, so McDonald's is always a treat to me, no matter how much. Oh, and Karen Mannernack says, if the airline offers you the friendship seat, say no thank you. Okay, I think I will. I'll remember that for next time. So, other than that, favorite pack light, Matt says. Yes. Do not pack more than you want. I didn't listen to that. But other favorite fast food restaurants, I mean, any restaurant with a milkshake instantly, like, gets to the ranking with me because I love shakes. Sonic has some of the best shakes to me. Oh, wait. Yeah, actually, I'm curious. What is the friendship seat? Oh, it's the middle seat. Yeah, no, I cannot take the middle seat. I always, like, have to have something to lay my head on so I can fall asleep in the plane. But thank you for your question about my fast food restaurants, y'all. Please tell me. I did like Burger King, but then one time I ate it too much, and that's another story for another time. From Walton, are baby carrots actually young carrots or just big carrots cut into smaller pieces? Since I come from farmland, I actually do know this. It's both. Baby carrots can be little carrots that are grown and plucked, early, or there are baby sliced carrots, which are big carrots cut into baby carrot-sized pieces. So, there you go, Walton. Now you can eat them with confidence. Because baby carrots, y'all, are my favorite vegetable, okay? They're like my popcorn, and I hate popcorn, but baby carrots are delicious. Okay, so from Izzy, what is your favorite article of clothing and why? That's tough. Okay, so guys, help me out here. To me, my initial response is sweatshirts and socks. Those are my favorite articles of clothing because sweatshirts, like you get one with a hood like this, and you have protection from the rain. You're always warm. People don't know how strong you are, so you're less likely to get into a fight. Socks are fun, like Victoria says she's the socks. Socks, to me, are fun because they really show your personality. You can have, like, socks detailing your favorite characters, which honestly makes no sense because you're literally then walking on your favorite characters, and that might be kind of rude, but I still love them. For Christmas, I asked for socks. I'm that old now. But, Dante says he likes pants the most. Really? I mean, okay, I guess pants are pretty important. Isabella says shoes. Shoes I do really like, I'm not gonna lie, but I still prefer socks. Socks over shoes, all the way. But I do like a good shoe because shoes can make you taller than you are. And for someone like me, that's good. I'm not really short, guys, just so you're aware, but I'm shorter than a lot of people. What the heck? Okay, sorry. Ooh, Caleb says coats. Yeah, I do love coats. But, ooh, a cozy sweater, Anna says. Yes, I love sweaters. Oh, now this one is from the one asking the question. Is running for president one of your goals? Yeah, I would so love to be president one day. But I have a lot to learn, and that's why I'm going to college. So that way I can learn persistence in going for my degree. And that way I get to see so many different views from everyone else, and whether I agree with them or not is inconsequential. The important thing in college, I feel, is to learn to listen and then use what you've listened to help the world. And so for me, there's lots of people I disagree with at my college, but guess what? They aren't asking for my opinion. So until I can do something about it, not much I can do. But when I start running for president in, I think 13 years, y'all watch. It's going to happen. And I'll need y'all's support. So please, let's make it happen. Don't go to college. Look up the Charlie Kirk story. Charlie Kirk, he is an amazing man. I'm not as brave as he is. So I got to show the people that Charlie Kirk deals with that I've listened to them. And that's my reasoning for this. But I do have great respect for anyone willing to go and have a dialogue with people who will just either not say anything to you, call you a liar, or insult you when you're just trying to get the truth. So that's my plan. So from just thinking, I know you're now blonde. Wow. But do you think it is insulting or absolutely hilarious when you hear blonde jokes? I think a lot of them are funny, but I don't want to hurt feelings. Thanks. Blonde jokes are there because everyone's jealous of blondes. So blonde jokes are a symbol of jealousy. And I don't love jealousy, but I do love a good blonde joke. And so if you're blonde and you don't want to hear a blonde joke, close your eyes. Why was the blonde staring at the frozen orange juice? It said concentrate. I love blonde jokes. But my favorite hair colors probably are between black and blonde. I don't know why. That's just me. And yes, I am blonde, but my hair used to be much blonder. My older brother has kept the blonde hair, and I have no idea why mine has darkened. As a former blonde, I do love a good blonde joke. Yes, I would agree with you too, Al Florine. Okay, so from Please, can you sing Happy Belated Birthday? Very well. Everyone at home, please join in with me, and we'll do this. I don't know who this is for because, well, anyone whose birthday is today or sometime before, this is for you. Happy birthday to you. Happy belated birthday to you. Happy belated birthday, dear you. Happy belated birthday to you. All right. Thank you so much. And we are approaching near the end here, so we got two more. Let's pound it out. From Mary Mack. As a young man your age, what do you think us highly middle-aged people could do to support you and the future of our country? Wow, that's deep. Okay. I think what we could do for support, there's a story here that sticks out to me. I've been reading in my Bible, and I don't have the exact reference, but it's from the Gospel, so you hear it about 4 times. And it's when Jesus is comparing the Pharisees and the current generation to old wineskins, where you can't pour any new wine in them or else they'll burst. And I feel that's the struggle with most people nowadays. Anytime a new idea is given, I see the tendency to be, oh, well, that's awful. No, just because it's new. I don't know it, so it's wrong. I don't think that's everyone, but that tends to be what it is. Choosing to not listen is the most detrimental problem in our society. So, you and Tucker Carlson are my new favorite show. Thank you. Well, don't tell Tucker. He'll get jealous. But, all right. So I guess what we could do to help is support each other, look for ways like what you guys are doing right now with the show and me. that's helping so much. We got to get the light out there. We got to get the right ideas. Not the right ideas, but you know what I mean. And we just need to support each other more. So offering advice when it's asked would be greatly appreciated. And I've seen a lot in the world. I've seen more countries than fingers on my hands. And so find the right people to support, I would say. And I hope I'm one of them. So thank you so much for your question, Mary Mac. I appreciate it. Okay. From Daily Riddles, pencil lead is the answer. Yeah. Sorry, that was a little loud. Yeah, okay. So, the scoreboard. I think it's both of us, so let's see. The home score for me is now 1. Just give me a second. And the visitor score, because I heard people to say that, is 2. So, congratulations, everyone. We all went up a point, but one of these days, I am going to beat you, audience. When am I on again? Same time next week. We are going every Friday from 7 to 7:30 is what I'm striving for. I'm going a little over here. So we'll wrap it up with this next question, which, let's see, from here. Gospel of John. What is the most impactful book of the Bible for you and why? Wow. Did not expect that question. But there's several. It's like, again, like I said, picking my favorite child. But as of now, I would say... Oh, wait, hang on. Logan says Ted Nugent would make a perfect running mate for you. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm going to look more into this Ted Nugent, see if he'd be interested in a partnership. But, okay, I'm going to guess the person who asked this question, the Gospel of John, is their favorite or most impactful book of the Bible. Darn, that's really tough. I mean, right now, the books that are coming to my mind would be Job, the Timothys, and like Samuel through 1 Kings. I know that's more than one. I'm sorry, those are just impactful because in 1 and 2 Samuel through the Kings, you see what good leaders look like, what bad leaders look like, the rise and fall of how they got there. With the Timothys, you hear what young men should be. 1 Timothy 4:12. Do not let anyone look down on you because you are young. That's been a huge verse for me because I was short and I was young, so I didn't like people looking down on me. But that is what I would say. Every book in the Bible is impactful. I love Job because it shows you what good friends are like, because Job had friends who just sat with him while he was so miserable for like 5 days, and no one said a word. And I'd like to think that deep down we all have friends who would do that, but they are getting harder and harder to find in this instant gratification society. And I should know because I want everything now. So, and Matt says Genesis chapters 1 through 11 lays the theological foundation for the rest of the Bible. It does. But anyway, I am sorry to cut this off, but we have reached the end of our time. We've reached the end of our questions. Thank you so much for joining me tonight, and I look forward to seeing you all same time, same place next week. Please like, share. We got to spread this light somehow, and the only way to do this is persistently sharing good news and the good in society, because you don't have to look far. Just turn on the news and you'll see anything bad. So let's start spreading good news. Thank you all so much, and I can't wait to see you all next time.